Well, I really enjoy it. It's
Great.
it's quite an opportunity to be able to meet with a couple hundred people that believe the same as you do and are learning the same things, and that you can discuss things with and reflect with and share opinions and ideas about, especially those of us who work in religious education, how we can incorporate and share them in what we normally do.
I thought, okay, 2 years of classes, this sounds like a long time for me. But once I read a little more about it and got a little more familiar with it, I thought, no, I'm doing this without fail. I'm just going to do it.
It really wasn't that hard of a decision for us. It didn't seem like that much of a commitment at this stage in our life. So,
Knowledge by far. There's so many facets that you don't even think of on a day-to-day basis that you learn about, and you just get excited to share with fellow parishioners.
But no, once I made the decision, no, and it's been easy. Oh, the time flies. We're almost done now. Can't believe I'm here almost 2 years.
Just learning. I think under just the 10 Commandments alone, I learned that so many things are under one commandment, like honor your father and mother. I mean, it's immense what you learn every week.
What this has done for me is it's just opened the door. And back in the 60s, 70s when I was growing up, catechism wasn't really pushed very much back then. It was just kind of non-existent. So I feel like I've jumped back in with both feet.
I'll say just to have a greater understanding of just the beauty and truths of the faith. We have such a rich, beautiful faith, and I just have such a greater appreciation for that. So that's the first thing that I will tell people.
I think it's just been nice to dig deeper into the faith. I think Jeff Caven talked about it in the very first session of, like, you've kind of got this heap of Catholicism that you maybe learned as a child and you just don't know what to do with it, and it's a great way to kind of dig deeper into the pile and apply it to life.
I've definitely grown closer to Christ. My prayer life has changed in many, many ways. I did not know the true depth of the Lectio prayer, and that has completely transformed my prayer life.
A couple interesting things. Not that I understand it because it's still a mystery, but I was always intrigued with the Trinity, and for myself, we never seem to do justice to the Holy Spirit. And having now gone through the catechetical process and the catechism, to learn that they're three equal. I mean, to give them their definitions: the Creator, Redeemer, and Sanctifier. That's been intriguing and really helpful to me.
Oh, I'm sure it's enriched it. And I never realized how many people come up and ask me to pray for them. And I look at things a bit different. Through the Catechetical Institute, I went to the Called and Gifted class.
I think what it's done a lot is it's done a lot with my prayer life. Years past, you'd say some prayers, and it was done. And now I've kind of come to the realization that your prayer and faith life continues day in, day out. And it means more to me now.
For me, it's been my prayer life. This last semester that we're doing with the CI focuses on prayer. And although the previous 3 semesters have been very powerful, very beautiful, just the emphasis on prayer and just the beautiful traditions that we have on prayer in our beautiful faith has really touched me in my relationship with God.
Mm-hmm. And I would kind of add to that, prayer was a huge thing, but then also I think for us as a couple to just, as we're driving back home, to kind of just whatever topic, hit us that night, to talk more about it. So I think it strengthens our marriage as well.
When I went through Catholic school, grade school, high school, and college, and the in-depth presentations of the catechism, the wonders of what's in our religion that most of us don't get, even if we practice weekly, we don't get exposed to that.
I would say come. You will not regret one night of it. It's not that huge a commitment.
I would say just do it. Short answer, but I don't think anything that I've ever done has been as beneficial to my faith life as this. I couldn't recommend enough to anybody. I've recommended it to a lot of friends of mine.
I would just say if it's on your heart, obviously the Holy Spirit had some influence there, and I would say go for it.
Don't let the 2-year commitment scare you off. You know, it is a commitment, but it's well worth it.
The time commitment, it's not as bad as you would think it is. It actually is very laid back. I honestly don't think that the content can be too overwhelming, only because you learn from your small group members, you learn from the speakers, you learn from coming early and sitting in the meeting area and just visiting with other classmates.
I would say, first of all, the 2 years will fly by, so don't worry about that. It seems like a long time before you get in there. The second thing I'm going to suggest to you is that it seems undaunting when you're not here. But once you get the format and structure, for example, you get the information that's going to be presented a week before. You read it. There are questions to answer after you've read the catechism and the scriptures. You start out in a small group. You find out people just like yourself are learning. And I have to say this, and hopefully everybody else, there have been marvelous instructors.
I think they would see their parish just become more and more alive, because the more you dig into your faith and realize how much you love it, the more you want to share it. So it spreads like a wildfire. So even if you just start with 1 or 2 to jump in and do it, they're going to be impacted, that they're going to want their friends to go through it, and it'll spread.
And I think just the opportunities that the Catechetical Institute has opened up for us in not only in our faith, but just in being able to explore faith in other areas. It's helped us become, I think, better disciples and people on fire with the faith, and young people on fire with the faith, which I think is so needed in all of our parishes.
I think that they will come back more solid. I think that they will be able to aid and assist their pastors in different ministries throughout the parish with more knowledge.
What you learn here in order to do a faith job in ministry in a parish and deal with catechesis and those things, I think this information received here is invaluable.